32 to top 8 ratio. Lopes had a 21 top 8s and a 25 top 32s. That is an insane ratio.
Oh my god. So they've only missed 4 top 32s, like, ever?
Well, it doesn't say the amount of tournaments that they've played in, but
right.
Yes, whenever they get to top 32, they have like a 80% success rate of entering top 8.
Oh my god, that is truly wild. But kind of even right now as we get into game number 1.
You could also look at that as it took them 4 top 32 finishes to then get top 8 and never get top 32 again without getting to top 8. It's a really nice stat. I really like it. But
they had that
so far,
buffer. The buffer.
So far, Navarro he is proving the stats wrong, proving to be a bracket kind of guy. As we're going 2-2 here on the stocks.
Yeah, Navarro putting on a lot of pressure with that lance. Pretty grounded as well. Can be contrasted with a lot of Rocket Lance players that we've seen. Oh, okay. And Lopes now playing around these grounded ranges pretty well.
Nice nair coming out, keeping the juggle going. Lopes gets the side layer and GCD like Seer not going to be enough to knock out just yet. Oh, but the side signature, just the right timing. Navarro didn't have the patience.
It looked like it clipped Navarro's head at the very end there.
Yeah.
Just like chopped it off. Or smashed it, I guess, because it's a hammer.
I don't know if you say this. I don't know if you say this in the Smash community. I've heard very many times, a lot of times, people say that as giving them a haircut.
Oh yeah, no, I like that. Yeah, when a hitbox is like barely touching their head, we definitely say that.
Especially when it's an edge card, like especially, I mean, if you're on hammer or if you're on sword and you get a D-light as to try and get back up, you give him a haircut.
Yeah, very good. And Lopes with a solid lead right now. Oh my god.
Oh, tried to go for the rush on Mafia too. Going for style points for sure. I mean, we're last stock situation. He's going for style points. That says something.
Oh my god. Lopes pushing the advantage even with no weapon. And Navarro, I mean, kind of capitalizing. Now has the lead. A bit of a comeback coming out from Navarro. Starving Lopes as well and getting the KO.
Player 2 wins.
All right, and that is going to be 1-0 on the board for Navarro so far. How are you feeling in terms of the upset potential?
I kind of like to see it. I mean, Navarro's playing it well. I really liked how Navarro, I mean, the haircut there. Navarro played really patient on his last stock. And that's a very, very important skill. Playing well in the clutch, super good.
Yeah, I mean, to have that level of composure, it also gets exponentially more important whenever this, let's not say skill difference, but the PR difference, the seed difference gets larger. You can't have these nerves that are dictating how you play, and Navarro, I mean, he's ice cold.
Yeah, Navarro with a solid lead right now, but Lopes manages to dodge in. Also, deciding to go opt for more sword gameplay than hammer. I'm interested to see how that pans out for him. Uh-oh.
I'm all for it, man. Lopes sword gameplay is just a sight to behold, but so is Navarro's hammer. And is he going to be sticking to it? I would have expected him to, but seeing as he is quite damaged on this stock, Lopes just spawned, potentially looking to get a read. He might even have one cooked up.
Navarro with the pretty crazy... Oh! Okay, yeah, I mean, the grounded lance gameplay has been catching Lopes off guard for sure. Look at how patient he is, waiting for Lopes to land into him. Okay. But a great bait from Lopes, knowing that those lance players, they love Saarinen.
Yeah, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. You take any person in ranked that just lost to Lance, 9 times out of 10, their words after losing will be, "Why did I jump?"
Oh, great anti-air.
Yeah, the anti-air. I mean, we're seeing it again and again. Navarro using these nairs to their absolute max ability. It looks like Lopes too is. This is just a nair fiesta right now. Oh,
Yeah,
what is that interaction? The spot dodge for the stomp into his own GCD light. That was crazy. I want to see that one in slow motion later.
Yeah, that's wild. You know these guys both play Hammer. When the interactions can get that nuanced. Oh, but Lopes evening it up. Very important game 2 here.
Very, very important, especially considering Navarro with the initial lead. We mentioned that it could be upset potential. 2-0 for upset potential. I mean, even if you're the stronger player, winning 3 games in a row is not going to be easy against even a top 50 player.
Oh yeah, down air. And back on the Lance, I feel like this Lance has been very, very solid for Navarro. Lopes baiting out the Seer again. Oh my god. Playing super well.
The Seer coming out. Starting to edge guard now. Navarro able to get back up with the Seer though. Lopes gets the dare. A little bit delayed though. And light to push him off again. Weapon throw. That's Koski's stock.
The snipe. I love it. Lopes, I mean, I think the emphasis on the sword play really came out that game.
Okay, replay.
All right, yeah, let's see the stomp interaction.
I think it's the next one. It's this one.
this?
Yeah. D-Light. Oh, dude. How crazy is that?
Amazing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, go on with what you were saying. I have to.
I forget. What was I talking about?
Dude, that hammer gameplay is so good. We're starting to develop some kind of memory issue.
when they hit you with the hammer too hard.
One too many Sairs to the head, man. I mean,
yeah, 1-1. I mean, as we were saying, Lopes' sword definitely great into both hammer and lance right now. I feel like the strings were looking great. The speed is looking good. And not necessarily landing in the ways that Navarro is used to. Navarro was getting so much damage off of, like, calling out a landing like that. But now Lopes is making it very tricky.
see, I really like watching Lopes play Sword, because I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to admit something. I play Sword quite a bit, kind of like a wild card pick, you know, a trick up my sleeve, if you will, whenever I'm in a BO3 or BO5 format. Every time I watch Lopes play Sword, I learn something new that I can, like, actually implement into my gameplay. Last time, it was going really deep offstage and using a GC sidelight, which is such an insane option that I would never have thought of before, but I've used it with great success.
What are you picking up this time?
See, I'm still looking for it. We're seeing Lopes play a little bit more Sword.
Right,
I'm
that's
hoping
true.
he will stick to it more for my own egotistical reasons. But then again, I mean, Lopes on Sword is just a sight to behold. I just love it.
Yeah, I mean, his strings have been unreal on the Sword. And, I mean, I feel like his hammer's getting a little more aware of the ranges that Navarro is playing. Trying to avoid some of these interactions. Yeah, but the stacked pressure looking great for Lopes there, avoiding those, like, lance hitboxes that are very, very far out in front of them.
Lopes is favoring this hammer mirror right now, knowing full well that Navarro is going to get a hammer on respawn. Do you feel he's been successful in it?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I think Lopes has kind of been outplaying Navarro with both weapons right now. So I don't... Oh, my God.
Oh.
The answer back from Navarro. Oh, Lopes touches? Okay, gets it. I feel like Navarro goes Lance here. Yeah, the Lance strings have been really, really good when they're on. But Lopes adapting to these ranges, staying really stacked, crossing up Navarro, too.
I feel like it's whenever Lopes is on the hammer, Navarro is just so much more confident in his responses. So we might be getting into this territory where if you ask Lopes what weapon worked best against Navarro, he'd say hammer. But if you ask Navarro what weapon did you struggle the most with, he might say sword.
Yeah, it's funny how perception can be so altered across different viewpoints. And I think like this is also a master class on how to play against Lance. Lopes understands the threat range of Lance so well that he's able to cross up Navarro, avoid Lance sidelight, Lance neutral light very, very easily. And in the first game or so, we weren't seeing that as much. We were seeing Navarro get these very extended strings, and now Lopes is kind of diffing them a little bit. Pretty low damage game overall, though. Some early KOs.
Some early KOs, not necessarily because they were super flashy. These guys, they're just playing very optimally, to be honest.
Right.
They're squeezing out any ounce of damage, any ounce of knockback that they can from every single interaction. You see it right there. Dare into jump, nair.
and yeah, when you're D-light staring somebody at around 100%, it's it can look quite brutal.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I told you this or if it was someone else I was casting with, but I once had a friend who told me, and I think this is the best description I've ever heard, hammer is by far the best weapon in the game whenever the opponent is orange or lower.
Yeah. I mean, the consistency of the knockout confirms there is... It's a sight to behold, as we're seeing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Oh, missing the D-light punish off of that. Navarro has been blessed to not get any more damage off of that, because if he was able to throw him off stage after getting that D-light combo, that could be quite grim. He's been giving a chance and giving an opportunity. Now let's see how well he'll be able to capitalize off of it. We're seeing Lopes' sword, and I am most certainly keeping my eyes peeled.
If I'm Navarro here, I'm like a little scared of playing this Lance into Lopes. I feel like maybe we need to favor the hammer a bit more, because Lopes has just been all over it. Baited out the Sair, getting that KO.
Alright, swapping over to the hammer. Able to get the combo as well. Full stock lead at this point. Navarro has the Lance. I've been hyping up the potential for Lance to get dodge reads and get big damage. I feel like at this point, that's what Navarro needs.
Yeah, oh my god, wait. Yeah, potentially huge edgeguard opportunity there from Lopes. Tried to do a cross under. Navarro finally scouting it out, getting some anti-airs too. Getting some anti-airs! Alright, this is the adaptation, but is it a little too late? Now Navarro expecting Lopes to not play to not fall for these grounded options as much, so going for all these recovery anti-airs.
Sticking to the sword now. Navarro picks up the Lance, able to poke him with an end light. D-light not going to connect though, and Lopes is able to find an answer in the form of a Sair. Just jumping a little bit off the ledge just to stress Navarro out.
Lopes hugging that platform, just making sure to not get juggled at all by Navarro. And he's gonna take it with a slight Sair off the stage.
All right. And that is going to be Lopes closing out the set here. And he will be advancing further into the bracket, where he is going to go up against Piox. We saw Piox just a moment ago, one of the underdogs.